Tonight on the Commanders Report, I got the latest Commanders injury updates on guys like Jayden Daniels, John Bates, Noah Brown, and more at the top of today's show. Then I'll be talking about the idea of potentially reuniting Dan Quinn with Stephon Gilmore, who played excellently in this defense when he was with the Dallas Cowboys back in 2023. I'll break down these two topics on today's edition of the Commanders Report. But before we get into the content today, guys, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We got daily Commanders videos on this channel, 100% free. I came to you at home today with a breaking news video when the Commanders brought in Preston Smith. Preston practiced today, by the way, in Ashburn, so that's great to see. We also have weekly live shows here on the channel, guys, so help us get to 50,000 subscribers. We are so close to hitting that milestone here on the Commanders Report. So if you want free, informative, and in-depth Commanders content every single day here on YouTube, this is the place you get that. Join the Commanders Report family today and click that subscribe button. All right, so now let's get to the latest updates surrounding Jayden Daniels here, where he did throw today and he had a quote-unquote good rehab session, according to head coach Dan Quinn, but he did not practice with the team here on Wednesday. Coach Quinn also told the media that if Jayden is unable to practice in any capacity this week, then he will not be eligible to play on Sunday. So he's kind of taking it day by day. That's the right approach to take it with these kinds of minor injuries. See how Jayden is feeling every single day. Not maybe get your hopes up too high, but it certainly seems like Marcus Mariota is being geared up to start on Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Mariota is even taking Jayden's spot in the production meetings. All right, so with the production crew, the broadcast crew, all that stuff, Mariota is going into those meetings instead of Jayden Daniels this week, indicating that the Commanders probably feel like Mariota has the higher chance to be starting on Sunday afternoon. Some other injury updates here, guys. Noah Brown also did not practice today. He's dealing with a groin issue. I would say he's probably a long shot to play on Sunday, but he is technically questionable at this point in time in the week. And then neither did John Bates, also dealing with a groin injury. Bates is probably a long shot as well, which would mean either the second-year tight end Ben Sinnott or our Colson Yankoff is going to be taking his spot in those 12 personnel looks that Cliff Kingsbury loves to run. And going up against Max Crosby this week, those 12 personnel packages to help chip and do all those things that you have to do to limit Max Crosby's impact. I mean, if you don't have John Bates out there on the field on Sunday, guys, that would be a significant loss for the Washington Commanders if he can't go. Then there were some players today that were limited at practice. Trey Amos, the rookie out of Ole Miss, has a shoulder issue that he was limited with today. I believe there was a report right after he was drafted to the Commanders that there was some sort of issue with him. Hopefully that's not flaring up here. Brandon Coleman also dealing with a shoulder at left guard. Jerry McNichols was also limited today with a hamstring, and then Colson Yankoff was limited today with a hip injury. But all four of these players are on track to play on Sunday. So coming up here on the Commanders Report, we're going to be breaking down, should the Washington Commanders sign Stephon Gilmore? He had a hell of a season playing under Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. in Dallas just 2 seasons ago. He's still available in free agency, and the Commanders definitely need some help in the secondary after a slow start. We'll discuss that here in just a second, but first, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Prize Picks. And guys, you and I, we both make decisions every single day, but most of those decisions don't get you paid. But on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Football season is finally here, and you better believe I'm going to be getting my Prize Picks lineups in all season long. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks also puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. PrizePicks also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. A new feature from PrizePicks that I absolutely love is injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count that as a loss. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with the PrizePicks app today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the PrizePicks app today. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. So Commanders corner Jonathan Jones, dealing with a hamstring injury right now, guys, has been placed on IR, which means he will be off this Commanders roster for at least the next 4 weeks. Dan Quinn did say that he expects him to be back sometime this season, but he will be missing at least the next 4 weeks, and he really is the linchpin in terms of the depth of this Washington Commanders cornerback room, because if somebody gets hurt, he's the guy that can play both inside and outside, and losing him definitely isn't ideal. So the question here should be, should the Washington Commanders consider signing a cornerback? They brought in Preston Smith. They brought in Chase Edmonds to get 2 positions, to fill 2 positions that they're going to be missing now that Austin Eckler and then, of course, Dietrich Wise will be missing the rest of the season. There are still some free agent corners out there. Stephon Gilmore, Kendall Fuller, you got Emmanuel Mosley, Duke Shelley, and Caleb Farley are probably the best available. There's not a whole lot of great options out there, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. But what I'm talking about here, guys, I would love to bring in Stephon Gilmore. I know that some fans might think about bringing back Kendall Fuller because he actually played pretty well here in Washington before he moved on to the Miami Dolphins, but he looked completely cooked last year. Stephon Gilmore didn't have his best season last year with the Minnesota Vikings, but he certainly looked better than what Kendall Fuller put on tape. And I think that, based on, his experience in this Dan Quinn system and his experience playing under Joe Witt Jr. as his position coach there with the Dallas Cowboys in 2023, his acquisition here in Washington would be an absolute dream. I mean, take a look at his PFF grading with Dallas in just a couple seasons ago, a 71.2 overall grade. He was very good in run defense. He was good in coverage, all that great stuff. Gilmore is just a very good, savvy veteran who isn't maybe the defensive player of the year type player that he used to be with the New England Patriots, but he's still somebody with a ton of experience, a ton of playoff experience as well, and experience playing in this Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr. scheme as well. And Lord knows, it's been a slow start for the Washington Commanders in the cornerback room, to say the least. Your number 1 corner, Marshon Lattimore, your quote-unquote number 1 corner, has a 41.6 PFF grade to start this season. That is absolutely abysmal. Your best corner right now in terms of the grading is Trey Amos, the rookie out of Ole Miss, with just over a 60. That's not bad, but certainly not stellar. I think he's actually played a little bit better than that 61.6 grading, but that's just me. We know PFF grading isn't necessarily gospel, but Mike Sainristil down at a 39.6. He's had a slow start to his season, and then you got the backups aren't much better. Jonathan Jones with a 43.2, and then Noah Igbinoghene, who was dead last in PFF grading among corners last year, not getting a lot better this year, man, 24.3. So Lord knows the Washington Commanders could get some help in the cornerback room. The thing that makes this a little bit tricky, though, guys, is that Marshon Lattimore, Trey Amos, and Mike Sainristil are pretty locked in as this team's starters, so you'd have to bench somebody if you bring in Stephon Gilmore. And personally, guys, the guy that I would put by the wayside is probably Lattimore. You can cut him for just over $2 million in dead cap right now, and you can bring in Stephon Gilmore and probably even save money against the cap, and you probably get a better corner if you do that. So if Marshon continues to really struggle and he is really down in the dumps this season, I'm giving him probably just a couple more weeks. And if he's really not playing well and Stephon Gilmore is still available in free agency, I'm probably going to scoop him up and I'm going to let go of Marshon Lattimore. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Would you replace Marshon Lattimore with Stephon Gilmore? Type S for sign or P for pass. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. For me, I think it's a little bit too early. A 2-game sample size is a little bit too early for me to completely pull the plug on Marshon Lattimore, but give me a couple more weeks and a couple more losses and a little bit more desperation. I think that might be a recipe to get rid of Lattimore and bring in Stephon Gilmore. All right, so now let's talk our final topic here today, guys. There's been some speculation as to just how the Commanders are going to be distributing the running back workload now that Austin Eckler is out for the season. Dan Quinn said today at his press conference that Chase Edmonds is going to be ramped up. He probably won't be getting a helmet this week because they have a plan in place that's probably going to take multiple weeks to get him ramped up. So that means that Jacory Krosky-Merritt has been named officially as this team's RB1 on the Commanders depth chart on their website now. Jeremy McNichols is listed as the RB2 with Chris Rodriguez Jr. as RB3. And then, of course, Edmonds is currently on the practice squad. So this is a great opportunity for Bill. This is a great opportunity for him he's been the best running back in this running back room since he arrived, all the way back from rookie minicamp all the way to now. He's been the most impressive back in that backfield. Even to start the season, he was way more effective than Austin Eckler was through the first 2 weeks. Not to say that I'm happy Austin is injured. Of course not. And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to him as he's dealing with a really tough injury at this point in his career with that Achilles tear. But it's also an awesome opportunity for this offense to really get a spark in the run game with Bill Krosky-Merritt. And I'm really excited to see what the combination of Bill and Jeremy McNichols can do, because honestly, guys, I think this has a chance to be one of the more underrated running back duos in the National Football League this year. So let me know if you believe in Bill. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Do you believe in Bill to live up to his RB1 status now? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comments section. And that will finish up today's edition of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of today's show with me. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we provide you guys updates on the Washington Commanders every single day on this channel, 100% free. So if you enjoyed today's video, you want access to all of our videos, and you want to know when the videos come out, all that great stuff, click that subscribe button to never miss any of our videos.